You've always said you wanted to produce Test cricketers. You must be rapt for Nathan.
Yeah, it's a great thrill for him. He's bowled really quick here the last few weeks, and he's a magnificent athlete. So certainly one of our main objectives is to win silverware, but as importantly, develop the guys into Test or one-day international cricketers. So it's a big thrill for him.
I guess you hope he's not needed, but if he is, do you think he's ready?
Yeah, most definitely. What I've seen at the WACA over the last few weeks, there's some real pace and bounce back. So for him to have that extra pace is always a great commodity to have, particularly here. He's bowled fast. He bowled particularly fast the game before last against... who did we play against?
Sorry?
Against Victoria. He bowled particularly well against Victoria. He bowled fast and he got the rewards. Last game, he'll bowl a lot worse and get a lot more wickets. So he's in pretty good shape and he'll be ready to go if he's called on.
Is he one of the quickest going around at the moment in domestic ranks?
Yeah, I think so. Probably the quickest. He's got a very fast bouncer. He's also been working on swinging the ball, and he was at his best against Victoria when he swung the ball. And when he's got that fast bouncer up his sleeve, makes him very difficult to face.
Speed-wise, do you know approximately how fast?
No, I never really get that speed gun thing.
Yeah.
You know that as an ex-player, you know the guys who are quick and not. And I know from first-hand experience, Nathan Coulton will hit me in the helmet 2 or 3 times in club cricket and probably 3 or 4 times in the net. So you remember those things. He's got that extra little bit of X factor, and that certainly he's got that extra speed.
What were you thinking at the time when you got struck those few times?
Oh, I'm amazed I can talk to you today, actually. But yeah, I'm not sure what I was thinking when I got hit.
Yeah.
Probably I can't believe I got hit again.
Can you describe his development? I guess he was quite raw at that stage in club cricket, and now a legitimate Test opportunity.
Yeah, well, what you always pick up is a great athlete. I think he was a outstanding volleyballer when he, as a youngster, but he's just a brilliant athlete. You watch the way he throws a cricket ball and the way he moves in the field. He can hit the ball, and he's got that pace. So his development's been great, and he's come into that age bracket. You know, there's a lot of talk about the youngsters in Pat Cummins and James Pattinson and Mitchell Stark, but they're still very young, where he's in that age bracket where he's probably ripe to be selected. So it's nice to see him getting opportunity, and it'd be nice to see him keep developing for the rest of his career.
There's a lot of talk about his bowling ability, possibly what he can add to the bat as well, but how about his fielding? What sort of price can you put on that?
No, he's one of the best fielders in Australia, there's no doubt about that. Again, that's a testament to his athleticism. He's a brilliant fielder. He can field in the slips, he can field in the outfield, and he can field. You'd have no worries leaving him at point or cover. So he's a great all-round fielder, and that's ticks another big box for any selector.
Often when we're looking at a Perth Test, the Australian team looks towards WA bowlers and starts talking about WA bowlers. Is there a skill at bowling at the WACA that puts the WA bowlers in contention for a Perth Test?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think there's different techniques of playing cricket at the WACA. Certainly as a batsman, there's a very specific technique that you have to adopt if you want to be successful here. Same with the bowling, because playing cricket, the reason it's such a great place to play cricket is the margin for error for bowlers and batters is so small. If you hit what we call the WACA length, it's so hard to play, and if you nick it here, it gets caught in the slips. That doesn't necessarily happen in a lot of other places around the world. So there's definite specific skills to be successful here, and that's for the batsmen and bowlers.
So would Nathan's home performances have him in the eyes of the selectors at the moment?
Yeah, I think so. He's been fortunate to play the last 2 Shield games here. I think he took 8 or 9 wickets against Victoria in a very impressive effort. So, and he bowled well without much luck in the last game as well. So I think that probably gives him advantage, knowing how to play here, and the selectors have seen him bowl here over the last couple of weeks.
What do you expect of the WACA Test wicket, JR?
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. As a cricket tragic, I just can't wait to see the Test match here. From what I've seen the last few weeks, the pace and bounce about Sam Whiteman, or the opposition wicketkeeper, has been taking a lot of balls above their head, and that's a great sign of what we love about Australia playing cricket at the WACA. So there's been real pace and bounce. The outfield's like an ice rink, so you get value for shots. So it'll be exciting from that point of view. But that pace and bounce, which we've been talking about for a long time, if the last few games are anything to go by, it's going to be great fun to watch.
And the 2 new guys this week, and Turner, can you just talk a bit about those guys?
Yeah, well, another great example, a 20-year-old and a 21-year-old West Australian products making their debut for Western Australia. We've had must have had 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 guys making their debut. I should know that over the last 3 or 4 months. So they're good kids. Ashton Turner's deserves his spot. He also is an all-round package. He can bowl off spin. He's a gun fielder. And Simon Mackin, he reminds me of a young Joe Angel, who's our highest ever wicket taker. He's 6'8" or 9. Puts them in great areas. Brilliant kid. Had a great pre-season. Flies.
It's gone now.
And he's just Simon Mackin, at 6'8" or 9, and putting him in great areas. Great pre-season. Another brilliant kid coming through our ranks. Can't wait to see him do well.
Ashton's had a bit of a weird introduction to first-class cricketers. It's bizarre. He's kind of played for Australian or those sort of teams.
Yeah.
What's it been like for him, that sort of rapid rise before getting to first-class ranks?
Oh, you have to ask him, but what I know is that we've watched his development. Greg Chappell's been a huge rap on him for the last 2 years, since the under-19s. And I can see why. He made a Ryobi Cup debut last year and smacked the ball around the park. He's done well in club cricket. He's done well in our second 11. He did well against England out here. So he's a talented player. I think as a good Freo boy, he can't wait to wear the black cap and represent West Australia.
You put your faith in youth, but as you said about some of the other younger guys, you see them in the best 11 at the minute.
Oh yeah, well, 100%. We're picking our best 11. It's got nothing to do with the fact of their age, and that's one of the great things about the depth we're developing in West Australia. That they're not just young, but they're the best players, and that augurs well for the future.
Lost a little bit of experience, obviously. Marcus out of the side, and obviously losing Nathan for this match. You think that there's enough experience there to carry them over there?
Yeah, well, look, I've said the last few weeks I've put the pressure on the senior players to perform, and Sean scored a brilliant 100. Marcus has been in the form of his life, and Adam Vodris, the captain, just scored 200. So we've still got enough experience. Michael Hogan's still there. Ryan Duffield, although he hasn't played much, has played a lot of club cricket, and we've got plenty of experience there with some exciting young players. So we like to get the 6 points before we break up for the BBL.